This is the KWTF News Report. And now live from the KWTF studios in Moosedung, Connecticut, here's Steve Suckerman.
Hello, I'm Steve Suckerman, KWTF News. Well, it's official. Today's weather, according to the National Weather Service, absolutely sucks. It's cold, wet, and dismal outside. Absolutely nothing is going on around town, as most residents have decided to stay in. Despite this, KWTF News, in an effort to always find something to inform you about, sent our intrepid, on-the-scene reporter, Bonghit Burkowski, out to try to find something worthy of reporting on. Bonghit, can you tell us, please, what's going on?
Thank you, Steve. Bonghit Burkowski here live from Hiram's Bar and Grill, where it seems that just about every resident in town has come to today to drink heavily, which is what most of the people here in Moosedung do on days like this and just about every other day of the week. From what we understand, the only resident that is missing from the bar today is Dave Pakalnakarak. Mr. Pakalnakarak has gone out to return some cans and bottles for their deposit. Last we heard, he had a total of 17, so he should have a pretty fair amount of change jingling in his jeans once he returns. Live on the scene, this has been Bonghit Burkowski, going back to you at the studio, Steve.
And we'd like to thank our intrepid on-the-scene reporter, Bonghit Burkowski, for that fascinating and informative report. Imagine that, a man going out in this weather to return his cans and bottles for a deposit. He must really need the money badly in this economy.
Boy, we made a really big mess.
Couldn't agree more with that statement. And now for a follow-up on an issue that we reported here over the weekend. As you all know, Sally Suckernookie's gnome Gnooby, her beloved garden gnome, has gone missing from her home, and no one knows where he roams. For more on this terrible tragedy in this family, we sent our intrepid on-the-scene reporter, Bonghit Burkowski, out to talk to Miss Suckernookee, and he filed this report. So let's all listen as Bonghit tells us what's going on.
This is Bonghit Burkowski reporting on the scene at Sally Suckernooky's home in the suburbs, where, as you all know, her beloved Garden Gnome Gnooby has been missing since the weekend. There have been absolutely no reports on Nookie's whereabouts, and Miss Suckernookie is experiencing a pretty bad degree of widespread panic, worrying about her beloved Garden Gnome Gnooby. Once again, KWTF News would like to show you this recent picture of Gnooby Gnome. And we can all certainly understand Miss Suckernooky's absolute distraughtness over losing her beloved Garden Gnome Gnooby. Friends, family, and authorities are all on the lookout for the missing gnome. Going back to the studio, this has been Bonghit Burkowski, KWTF News reporting.
And we want to thank Bonghit Burkowski for this wonderful report on this terrible family tragedy. Well, there you have it, friends. Absolutely nothing going on in town today, and no news of Gnome Gnooby anywhere. Now, in an effort to be ever avant-garde in our reporting, KWTF Studios will now repeat all of our news using interpreters for the deaf and hard of hearing. And we'd like to thank our interpreters for recapping the news for our deaf and hard of hearing audience. I couldn't help but notice that one of them was signing in Canadian. Well, that's it, friends, for this KWTF News Update. I'm Steve Suckerman, and we now return you to your regularly scheduled program, which you can always find on Netflix. Thank you.
Boy, we made a really big mess.